Man, I just wanted to record a video in the car. It was too hot. I hope all of you guys are doing really well. Carrying yourself positively. We all have negative thoughts. That's okay. But as long as you're accepting the good and bad parts of yourself, so you can be 100% you, it's okay. But as you see from the title of this video, man, like I turned 25 2 weeks ago. I've been having a lot of thoughts, honestly. A lot of good thoughts, of course. Just reevaluating my life. Just kind of thinking like, man, where am I now? Where do I want to go? The things I've accomplished. And I realized that like I really don't know as much as I thought I did. Like, not literally but figuratively. Like when you grow up, you're very ambitious. You feel like you could take on the world. That was me, 18, 19. I'm like, bro, nothing can stop me. I'm invincible. Like, you feel good. You feel on top of the world. That natural confidence is always good to carry and have. And I transmuted that into self, improvement, productivity, creativity, and just kind of making sure that I'm making the right choices in my life. And I think personally, after a while, I start realizing that, of course, it's a good thing to dream. It's a good thing to be creative, but you also have to be very, very realistic. Now, I'm not saying you can't accomplish a lot. When I say realistic, I mean in terms of like just practical choices, right? For example, we all need a job, right? We all have to pay bills. You need money in order to get to the next step, right? But when I was younger, I had the mindset of, for example, like, I don't need a job. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm gonna start from ground up, start from $0. Like, I'm gonna get it out the mud. And I realized, like, bro, you need money. You have to get a job, and then you have to use that job to get you so you see how like the thought process changes. A lot of what I thought was just off the rip, I had to unlearn that, and I had to relearn myself and reevaluate myself. And I think as time progressed and as time passed, I became more comfortable in my own skin. I became more comfortable with who I was as an individual, the things that I'm heading towards in life. I think also what really helped was just understanding that in this life you have yourself. You don't really have a lot of people. If you're young watching this, right, and when I say young, I mean like you just got out of high school, you're in college, etc. A lot of the people around you, and I don't want to say 9 times out of 10, let's say 7, right? 7 out of 10, you didn't really choose them as your friend. A lot of my friends, for an example, was just because I was in the neighborhood or I went to the same school. It was a proximity thing, a convenience thing. When you graduate, 90% of those people disappear from your life. They go on and do their own thing. You just kind of move away, do your own thing, because it's just a proximity thing with them. But as you get older, you'll realize like, hey, okay, I have to really choose people based on how they carry themselves, the energy they put out, how they look at life. And I think, the more you allow yourself to just be open-minded and most importantly social, because bro, I had a period where I was just in the house and yeah, that wasn't it, bro. But yeah, you have to get out, you have to be social, you have to talk to people, you have to put yourself out there. That's the only way you're gonna succeed. And I think it took me a while to understand this. It took me a while to really like get in the depths of talking to people, really putting myself out there. And I had phases of this, right? So when I graduated, I was real social, I was real good, I was I'm talking out there in the world, I'm Instagramming, DM people, networking. Then I had a phase where I felt like God wanted me to appreciate, not just appreciate. Let me fix this thing real quick. Not just appreciate, but I feel like most importantly, he wanted me to kind of like take it slowly. I feel like I was kind of moving too fast. I was moving very quickly. And I think his way of showing me like, hey bro, you got to take some time out for yourself. You got to like really calm down, was when I lost everything, bro. I had went to Texas, and if in my old videos, like essentially I moved out there, things was booming. I moved out there with people. Eventually one guy left, the other guy ended up trying to be a competition with me, and then like eventually I just had to isolate myself, and in this phase of isolation, bro, was wild. It was dark, bro, but I always appreciated it, and I always told myself like, I'm gonna get out of this. It did feel like I'm not gonna lie, it did feel like I was not gonna make it out, but with hard work and consistency and the universe having my back, I made it out. I started a brand new life again, and I learned a lot of my mistakes from the past. And now I'm back social again. I'm back creative. I'm back myself again. And it just teaches you, like, never take those moments for granted. Never take the good moments for granted. Never take the bad moments for granted, because ironically enough, when you look back at your negative moments and the bad moments of your life, you always look back and you appreciate them more. You laugh, oh man, that was a good time. Like, remember we didn't have no money. And I just think those are the most fulfilling to your character development. Money can't buy everything. Money can't buy value. Money can't buy real self-improvement. Sometimes you actually have to go through depths of finding out who you are, and accepting that, really. Like, bro, like, life is good, man. Life is really a blessing. And you want to just always be authentically yourself. You always want to make sure that you're making the right choice. You're believing in yourself. You're actually being consistent with your growth. I think a lot of people kind of get that misconfigured. They think things is just gonna happen out of the blue and just come out of the clouds and be given to them. Nah, it doesn't work like that. You actually have to show God and the universe that you're willing to work. You're willing to put in the time to evolve as an individual, to actually build this rapport with yourself, to know yourself, to know what you fit in, to know where you want to go, to know what you want in life, to know what you want to dream for. All of that is important. You get one life as far as we know it. You want to utilize it to be successful. If you're depressed or you feel down right now, why? And after that, why? How? And after that, how? When? And when I say these terms, I mean how, why, and when. How are you going to fix your depression? When am I going to change it? Why am I feeling like this? Ask yourself more questions. Just like you talk to people, you want to talk to them girls or those guys, talk to yourself too, man. It's very important. But I love y'all. I think some is just calling me to continuously do these videos, bro. I've been doing YouTube for 10 plus years, bro, and I haven't blown up yet. But time is non-existent. It's already blew up. That's my mindset, baby. You know what I'm saying? But it's your boy AJ Collins. I love y'all so much, man. Make sure y'all taking care of yourself, and hit me on the ring. I'm out.